Hello guys, and welcome back to more Teutonic Horror campaign here in MEIOU in Texas. Today we're going to continue trying to reform our state, and I have come to... well, I'm beginning to understand why my force limit has just never really increased much. A large part of it has to do with the massive amount of provincial corruption we have within our provinces, meaning that the vast majority of taxes and manpower that we're supposed to be having isn't going to us at all, but instead going to the various estates, or elites, as they call them in this mod. So, yeah. We should do something about that, shouldn't we? So yeah, we're going to save up mana, and we're going to try and do a bunch of these reforms to try and de-shit the nation, basically. Oh yeah, we were reforming the government, weren't we? Yeah, I got a bit distracted. Just noticed these guys weren't defended for some reason. Which is strange, they are tributary, so I don't know. No diplomats, come on. Yay, dead. But yeah, reform. We have mana now. So let us establish regulated leases for our tax farmers. Yay. And we can now do these reforms, although we should probably build up some stability first. Although, I mean, while we're at it, reducing or getting this corruption shit dealt with, maybe we should just do the thing we did previously and just go ham. Yeah, ban sale of stuff. Does it say anything? Okay, I guess... Okay, yeah, it does explicitly say you lose 1 stability, okay. So we can't go complete ham here. Yeah, I have had well, I haven't been drowning in stability or anything, but... I probably could have done a better job at getting rid of these things. So yeah, once we have more mana again, we'll do the big reforms, I think. Just get those out of the way, and then I'll just continue spamming these away. Alright, time to do reform. Consequences be damned. So we're gonna up military service from volunteers to enlistment. Further reform, we're also gonna do this one. We're gonna go from direct taxation. The rights to collect most direct taxes are sold to tax farmers, reducing state cost and administration. And we're gonna go to the state's collection of all direct taxes is managed by way of a crude bureaucracy of collectors and regional officials. Okay. Surely nothing can go wrong here. I'm tempted to do this one as well, but I feel like I wanna... let's do that later. Enact reforms. Force stability laws. But a great success nonetheless, dare I say. How about some tax relief for the peasants? And the use of some magic Pope points to get 1 stability at least. Catholicism is great. We can now do epic reform. We can ban autonomies. I'm not sure this actually does anything, but it's cool, so we're going to do it anyways. And most importantly, we are going to acquire regional garrisons, which gives us an extra bit of army professionalism gradually. This will in turn, at least I think, finally allow me to annex this boy. Yes. Begin the process of annexing. Now, I don't know what will happen with his vassals. This is going to be an interesting learning experience, trying to figure out what happens to his vassals when I annex him. Do I get them as vassals? Because that would probably bring me way over my limit, but... let us finally get rid of the guy. Now, keeping him around might be smarter because, you know, he's been very useful as a supplier of extra troops, but I've kind of created Norway and Sweden to serve that same purpose. There's a reason I haven't tried to annex them, even if I could technically do that. We have been invited to a council to resolve the Western Schism. Neat. Sure. I don't know if we can have much of an influence. So far I haven't gotten really any events about like de-shitting the Catholic Church. which, you know, despite my fervent Catholicism, I must admit is a thing that should probably be done. Yeah, taking these reforms that I actually need is costing me a lot of mana, so we're gonna just fuck on the nobles again. Because I have saved up a lot of loyalty for them. So we're gonna enforce royal governance. I think that's it. Well, actually, there are still these reforms over here that make mana more expensive, but I was about to say I haven't had much of a problem with mana, although actually I have been having an issue with admin, but that's mainly because of, you know, the whole I had to unstate so much land and now I'm restating it, so that's why that is a problem at the moment. So once we have dealt with all this, it will be better. I might have declared war on the hordes and the gang again, but the Ottomans have gotten their shit together, it seems, and they are now super powerful. So even if the Mongols themselves are not in the fight, we are struggling. And at this point, I just want white peace. Actually, I just noticed you suddenly... Are we cool? Can we leave? No. Wow, so even with that, like, even with low war enthusiasm, he doesn't want out. Fuck, we are so screwed. Look at this shit. Look at it. Oh. Well, some good things is that Livland is now gone. And I guess we did indeed inherit our vassals. Now that I think about it, I should have improved relations with these guys before I did all this. Yeah, because they're now disloyal. Ugh. Can I at least annex them when the time comes? Yes. Just need to become friends with them. Oh shit. Hungary has separate peace. That's bad. Oh god, what have they done to you, Hungary? That's bad because their troops are gone, but they were mostly dead anyways. Yeah, it's this battle war score, man. Oh. Just need to win some battles to counter it. Although, considering just how many they have lost, that's easier said than done. Yeah, the French are very busy up here, so I need to try and convince them to come down here. Well, I'm trying to convince the Ottomans to fuck off, and we're going to burn down Constantinople. Oh yes, nice coin. I don't know why they didn't have a fort there, that's interesting. That took no time at all to siege. I'm also... Okay, no, what the fuck? The Ottomans have run to Schleswig. I guess they were trying to get to Norway. I don't know what it is. I swear. No, they were definitely trying to get to Sweden. Yeah, they were trying to get that tradition back up and running. Good old tradition of sieging Sweden. Always important to the AI. Wait, Lul, did the Ottomans actually get stuck? I think they got stuck on this island. This boat is blocking them. That is amazing. Maybe we can still pull through this war despite it being such a fucking disaster. Just like, I see an enemy army and then just walking over there takes so long. I really need to build more forts so that I can actually catch their armies and prevent them from just walking all the way around going on AI adventures like they're so fond of. Like, they can just run away. Let's see if we can actually win an army or win a battle against an actual Ottoman army. Okay, well, to be fair, we had a lot of actual troops there, so that was inevitable, I suppose. No! The French have peaced out. They got sick of this bullshit. Well, I'm sick of this bullshit too, to be honest. Oh, come on, Ottomans. Is there anything I can give you? Oh, I don't want to give you land, though. No. I mean, looting Constantinople one time was great. Let's loot it again. Like, seriously, dude, can we have peace? No, yeah, because I've gotten a bit greedy at this point. I want to actually get some concessions from these cunts. So, I mean, and all of these new vassals I inherited from Livonia has actually turned out to be pretty good, as they are all able to field a surprising amount of troops. And they are largely decided to be loyal. Although I'm noticing Sweden is starting to become disloyal, so... Although actually no, that's... No, they're actually... Yeah, they're not happy about all the land I gave them anymore, but it seems like they've generally stabilized in happiness. My army is relatively big right now, though, because the nobles very much like me, so it's gonna be difficult to see... It's gonna be interesting to see, I suppose, how loyal they stay once the once that is not the case anymore. Let's see if we can win this and wrap things up. Fuck you. Oh, actually, that doesn't look too hot. Oh, never mind. It looks hot. Still no? God damn. God damn it. Fucking France. Don't you see? I'm finally starting to win this. We finally got the Ottomans out. Now you have decided to wage war on the entire fucking world? Like, bruh. I mean, I suppose it's mostly Spain, but... oh, okay, he's fighting no, he's fighting Genoa. That's not good. I was gonna declare on them. Fuck. I mean, maybe if I occupy these, he will give it to me. Although I doubt he co-belligerented the Crimeans. Have I said that? Yeah, I've said it to me wanting it a lot, so... Because if I could own these trade centers, then... No, never mind. Okay, well, there's a trade center here, which gives me access to neighboring markets. Well, I mean, the neighbors all hate me, so I doubt I'm getting much access, but getting this major center of trade here would be excellent. So yeah, sure, France will help you, of course, but like, bro, why can't I be war leader? I mean, I'm gonna need to finish my current war first, of course, but still. Well, that was fun. So that war lasted, what, 15 years? Well, we finally did it, and we can now take our much-deserved land. And a bit of money. So one advantage was that Hungary actually lost some land to the Crimean Khanate, which, you know, allows me to sneak in and grab it. Just makes the border nicer. I hope the Hungarians won't, you know, think too harshly of it. Because this will mean that I control one of their cores. I mean, we have 100 trust. Surely we will still be fine. In the worst case scenario, I'll just give up on the province. Now to occupy... Yeah, I mean, okay, well, we have one piece, but... Oh, fuck, did I forget to click this? Ah, I forgot this province. Whoops. Oh, well. Oh, never mind, I didn't have Orsko for it, so I guess that was... Unfortunately, the Ottomans have also declared on Genoa, so we won't be getting shit from this. We can do a quick little cheeky reform, though, which I think we're going to do. I mean, we're in the middle. I've already done more of these just off-screen, so... Let's just enact this. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it pisses anyone off, so all we lose is some stability, which we will soon be able to reclaim. So now we should have, yeah, now we have a lot of these things. Okay, we can even look to get this soon as well. Problem is that the provincial corruption is just going crazy. Now it is ticking down relatively fast, but yeah, you can see, yeah, it's ticking down, but man, it's bad. It's very bad. I think there's like a temporary uptick in corruption when you remove these, so maybe going ham and taking away a bunch of them at once isn't the best idea. You can see on my income I'm basically making no money from taxes anymore. So in a move of just being based, I'm going to invade these guys because their truce with the Ottomans is running out, and I think that's what determines whether or not they can be allied, because I did cancel the alliance between the Ottomans and this guy, and I just noticed he's not allied to the Mamluks anymore, so I really want to get in here before any of that happens again. So off to crusade. Who needs money, eh? Who the fuck needs money? I mean, to be fair, I have a lot of saved up, so you know, I can afford to go in the red for a while. Alright, I'm just gonna piece this war out. This is super annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna take this. I mean, I'm gonna try and create a nice mountain border here, so that the thing that keeps happening in these wars is that, you know, there's just so many of these tiny little meme armies running around. So I'm trying to establish some semblance of like safe borders. If I can just build forts on all of these mountain passes here, as well as on, you know, each side of the mountain, then I should be able to just block shit from emerging from the Middle East into my land ever again. That's the idea anyways. We will need to fight a bit more, because I won't be able to take all I want here, but he is allied to the Khanate of Sibir, who I will want to fight anyways, so that we'll be able to grab what we lack here later anyways. So, oh shit, never mind, that's a lot of war extension. Oh, what the fuck, why is this so intensely overextension. Well, who knows? I'm taking it anyways. All shit, actually, maybe I should have paid attention to... Yeah, that's a lot of aggressive expansion, actually. Whoops. This could be a problem. Let's hope it doesn't become one. I should have some nice truces. Actually, never mind, I don't have shit for truces. Help? Oh. The Kazakh horde has risen. Is the Mongol Empire finally having an issue? Oh, they only have 11,000, so I don't know. It don't seem like they're gonna win this. I mean, they have course on it also. It seems relatively straightforward for them to retake it, but interesting. A coalition did form against us, but it has for the most part been, or it's disbanding as we speak. Oh, this should be good. This should be good. Yeah, France is off doing France things again. Oh, that was 500 ducats. Fuck you. This big city to burn. We got a city to burn. Yeah, I'm trying to save up money. I've been kind of chilling with my expansion and been talking a lot to people on Discord and trying to understand more of the internal stuff. Continuing internal reform. So my corruption is finally starting to go down. Another super important thing that I just learned is that, well, I mean, I knew you could change how much mana you invest in your taxes, but I did not know just how much in, like, doubling your mana investment in manpower taxes with military power. Like, my force limit has gone up massively just because of that, so that seems to be one way to overcome having a shithole of a nation like we do, which doesn't have enough money to really fund the professional army. So this is an interesting map mode that I have created. Now, I'm not sure if this is the correct way to create it, but I tried to make a map mode that shows where there is potential farmland to invest in, or like, I guess where you can find unused farmland. So we can see that, for example, in the steppe region, there is... you know, the hordes haven't been farming, I suppose, and so there's a lot of potential farmland to be invested in, while in the more developed parts of the world, less so. Although even in places like France, there's a surprising amount of, you know, farmland that can still be invested in, so... Because, yeah, I'm decided I'm going to try and stop blobbing so much and try and focus on de-shitting the economy, mainly just to learn more about the game, I suppose. I said I wasn't going to conquer more shit, but I noticed the Ottomans were going for some conquest. Well, a lot of people are fucking on Genoa, basically. So I decided I would make sure to swoop in and grab these cities here. Just because the Ottomans have already taken Kaffa, which isn't super annoying. I mean, look how fucking big the development is there. That's like bigger than any city I own, I'm pretty sure. So it would be a very nice place to be able to capture. Maybe get some more burger power. I'm going to try and grab these last provinces, mainly just for border reasons, or so that the borders look nice. And man, this fort sucks, but it is nice though that my little fort line over on the mountains here seems to be working. They aren't just waltzing into my land immediately. Ah, how lovely it is to fight war when you don't have like an infinite... I mean, okay, well, never mind. Well, yeah, well, they can still walk through this mountain line, but I don't fully control that yet. And I'm not sure if I'm ever going to because of the whole Mongol horde. But we got these lands. Very nice. Borders cleaner. And, well, actually, yeah, I dare say money is up too. At least the taxes seem to be. I mean, I'm no longer doing any reforms, so now our provincial corruption is just ticking down. Yeah, it's still ticking down relatively quickly, so it'll still be interesting to see what happens when it gets lower. Okay, you know what? I think actually we're gonna wrap things up here. And I suppose unfortunately for some, or fortunately for some, I think I'm actually going to straight up wrap up the entire series here, because I feel like I've mostly reached what I was, going to do. I've purged the world of Orthodox Christianity largely. I mean, if you combine my efforts with the Ottomans, I mean, sure, there are still provinces with Orthodoxy in them, and the actual religion in the province is still like 37% Orthodox over here. But at this point, it would just be a waiting game to quote unquote get rid of them. I don't think you can start inquisitions against them, and I also have absolutely no idea how those actually work. I mean, I tried to click one, and now nothing happened, but previously it allowed me to do one against the Lutherans, so that was neat. And perhaps more importantly, I've reached that point that many EU4 players will recognize, where I looked at the Mongol Empire here and I thought, man, I guess I should invade, take these provinces up here, clean up my borders. But then I sort of realized the reason I'm not invading them is not because I don't think I can beat them, because I do think I can beat them at this point. With all the various reforms I've been doing, you can see that quite a lot of time has passed in this episode, and that's because I've been in the background fucking around with my reforms a lot. Mostly, I've just been reforming the privilege reforms of the bureaucracy, instituting term limits, more pay, stuff to make the bureaucracy more modern, as well as constantly stealing land from the various elites, except for the burghers, because you're supposed to have those be really strong. I mean, I was gonna do some reforms here, but once again, I'm getting to that point where I'm not doing reforms more out of just because I'm lazy, not because I can't at this point. Which is normally a hint that it's time to play something else. And seeing as this campaign has very much been a learning campaign where I've learned so much, I really want to play something else where I play a bit more logically from the start, rather than just playing disastrously, going on the Discord, learning what I've fucked up, and then trying to undo my damage, essentially. Last thing I just tried is moving my capital to Riga, but it's going to take a long time to actually see the effects of that on the autonomy map mode in terms of communication efficiency. So, once again, I just can't be arsed. But once again, things have gotten quite a lot better. It really did seem that getting rid of provincial corruption was a big deal. It has even finally made me, have a force limit that exists. So while increasing the amount of military mana I spent on, I guess, well, it's not conscription, is it? What do we have right now? Well, yeah, we still have feudal levy, and I wonder if most of my men still come from that. I mean, if we look on the national military, okay, never mind. The state army has actually gotten a lot bigger since last time I checked. So it seems once again that all of those various reforms I've done have actually finally started to pay off, which I guess is why we can see the. Yeah, I guess it is really. Yeah, no, the feudal levy has stayed the same. It really is the state army that is finally starting to catch up to feudal levies. But one of the problems is, of course, it's 1667. From what I understand, I should have been able to do this stuff quite a bit earlier. Although I have been told by the people on Discord that Eastern Europe can actually be kind of a pain because it's hard to make much money because of how poorly developed the land is. I have been, the money situation has gotten a lot better, especially before I move my capital. I assume the nation has to sort of readjust a bit. But I have been investing into farmland, but how long it will be until that is actually profitable, I don't know. Yeah, plant fabric. Yeah, okay, well that economy screen was fucked up for some reason. Okay, a lot of them are fucked up for some reason. What was the problem? Yeah, Vilnius I definitely invested in. Okay, never mind. They're still doing fine, actually. I was thinking maybe the profitability of a lot of this stuff would be shit at this point because I've poured so much money into it. Although I guess I've been playing very fast, so maybe it has readjusted. But yeah, I would maybe like to play something more in Western Europe to experiment more with this system, and as I said, try and do better reforms earlier on, now that I've learned much more about how to deal with the elite and shit like that. Also, I want to try and play as a monarchy. I've been told it's easier to keep your legitimacy high as a monarchy, so that would be interesting. But once again, I dare say we have achieved our goal. But you can compare my rubbish state to the Ottoman state, for example. You can see the autonomy they're dealing with. Yeah, Bohemia. I mean, to be fair, Bohemia is a lot smaller, but I mean, that's another thing. One of the reasons continuing the campaign is so annoying is that wars in these provinces where it takes like ages to walk from one place to another is just getting annoying. I mean, you can see over here that I have been starting to colonize, because we do have the ability to do colonial frontiers, so we can do this. Click these buttons. We do have Siberian frontiers, I guess they're called. Okay, yeah, there's another one. Nope, can't do that one. Oh, I guess these don't border each other. Ah, never mind. It's this one that's not done yet. Well, you get the idea. So we could like continue this and continue our sort of Russian destiny, but it's gonna take ages to make it across all of Siberia here. And the alternative would be fighting the Mongols and dealing with how much of a pain in the arse that would be. Having to fight like the Jampur Empire and shit like that. Yeah, I mean, another thing I would like to do more often is conducting censuses, because you can do some cool shit here. Whoops, low data? No. Okay, the game is not... works on selected provinces only. Ah, right. Derp. It would be cool to maybe conduct more censuses throughout the campaign to get an idea of how the state develops. I just didn't look into how to do it, only to realize that it is actually very straightforward. Oh, wait. Population... Pop statistics. Yeah. So here we can see, although, well, actually, you can see the different sizes of the various populations. So yeah, we have 12 million peasants, and you can add to that about 1 million city dwellers, 1,200,000 city dwellers, 1 million nobles about. Oh, never mind. I guess this is the total. Yeah, so we have 15 million people living in our city. It would be cool to try and keep in track of like the growth of our population, stuff like that. Which I will fully admit I have just not done, because I didn't know how straightforward it was to actually do. And yeah, now that I know that I can increase my military spending on mana, or mana spending on military, I feel like that opens up other opportunities. So I do not entirely know what I'm going to play. It depends a lot on what I can also pull off, so God knows what the next campaign will be. I mean, feel free to leave suggestions in the comments, but I don't exactly have the best track record of following said suggestions, do I? Anyways, I mean, we might as well, if we're going to end it here, have a look throughout the world. That's another thing I probably haven't done a very good job of, is showing you guys what's been going on in the world. I've been doing that myself off screen without remembering to show you guys. I mean, you know Scandinavia by now. Got my 2 puppets that I've kept around mostly because I just don't like how it looks if I own them. Although I guess if I realized I wasn't going to do this sort of Siberian expansion, I could have annexed them and it would have looked fine. But yeah, France has actually blobbed mostly reasonable in this game, which is pretty rare for MEIOU in taxes. With of course some major exceptions, like their strange province acquisitions down in the Papal State. This province they own in the Low Countries, and just in general some nasty stuff. Cool that Burgundy's still around after all this time, and he's actually managed to expand a bit, and he's completely independent now. You got Spain, Portugal looking pretty good actually. Although at this point, since France has finished off annexing Brittany, I assume they're going to do what they are so fond of doing, which is blob into the Iberian Peninsula, which is so annoying because it looks dumb. Milan having united most of the north there, Verona and Veneto. Naples haven't done fuck all, other than me showing up occasionally to burn them down. Because, they're a PU of Spain, so yeah, whenever France has gone to war, Spain has usually joined on the other side of, regardless of what France has been doing. So, occasionally I've just sent my army down here to burn down. I've burned down Toledo and Granada a bunch of times at this point. Okay, maybe I'm overstating it a bit, but still, it's pretty funny. I suppose we'll do the world continent by continent. I might as well reveal everything at this point. Let's cheat a bit. Religiously, we mostly managed to contain the spread of. Well, I say we. I mean, we mostly did a job at converting the East here. Although I'm happy with how Europe turned out. Not a lot of it turned to heresy, so that's cool. Seeing as we're, a Catholic order, that was kind of part of my LARP there. And I don't know what it is about MEIOU taxes, but it always turns me into like a religious fanatic of some sort. Although I guess that's just me in EU4 in general. But yeah, something about crushing heresy in MEIOU taxes is just satisfying. Yeah. So even if the Emperor did lose the religious wars, I mean, I probably could have done a better job helping. I helped in one of them, but I fucked up and somehow was not able to join the other ones. And I mean, England was actually Protestant at some point, but they turned back. So, yeah. Culturally, I don't think much has changed, with the exception of whatever shenanigans I've done. You can see my Prussian culture having expanded quite a bit because I intentionally did not accept Polish. One thing we could have done had we continued this would be to move our capital more inland and then have that spawn a province of our culture so that it could start spreading from there. But once again, at this point, I can't be arsed. Yeah, I think these start out as Greeks, so that makes sense. There has been any changes here that I know of. We have seen some nice Magyar expansion, though. Expanding within the basin itself and into Croatia, Slavonia, Slovenia, and Austria. That's pretty funny. I don't know when they added the Sekeli culture. Once again, so many of these like weird, obscure cultures. But sadly, there's very often not any nation to represent them, so you can't like release them and play as some weird shit, which is sad. Yeah, I can't see any other major differences. I mean, yeah, Silesian German has spread a bit, but not much. Let's look at the New World. Seems quite, well, I was, not very historical, but seems very standard. English and Spanish colonies. Portugal, they're doing surprisingly little. I mean, right now they're occupying Brazil, but other than that, the only thing really they did was expand into South Africa. They did lose territory there for some time to Lundu, but it looks like they have retaken it. Yeah, you can see Lundu used to own quite a lot of this, so... cool for him. Spanish Congo. West Africa seems pretty normal. Cool that the pagans managed to hold on to some extent. With some of these imperiums actually being pagans. Actually, the majority seem to be pagan. Yeah, it's really just Mali that's an Islamic empire. Got the Somalis doing cool shit in, well, the Horn. Somali, yeah. The Mamluks finally getting their shit pushed in. The Ottomans have really had a glow up lately. They go from being completely fucked to completely doing awesome shit. So yeah, they're finally doing the thing where they're conquering the Levant and whatnot. So if we continue, we would be seeing more of that. They've been kicking out the various people from the Aegean. Athens is a tributary, so that's why they haven't taken that. But maybe that would change at some point. India, couldn't tell you if this is abnormal or not. The Zhao dynasty has been here from the beginning. Well, ever since I was able to see China anyways. Big Vietnam, Palembang, Majapahit still around. Still Hindu, so... yeah, no Muslim Indonesia in this timeline, I suppose. In terms of colonies, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between Majapahit and England, but yeah, mostly just English shite, some Portuguese. I mean, I suppose it's sort of historical that Portugal would focus more on the east and Spain on the west, so that works. I don't know if the devs have actually put anything in to program for that, but Akamatsu dominates Japan. It actually seems like the shogunate has collapsed entirely. And we now have, oh god, Japan. I mean, I really wish there was something in the mod that would stop shit like this from happening. This annoys me. Although, I mean, it's not the worst though, but it's, you know. As long as they don't colonize fucking Siberia, I guess I'm cool with it. No one doing Australia stuff. I think maybe you need a special technology to get over here. I'm not entirely sure if there's limitations. I mean, I know there are some, because like there's presumably a reason why the South African stuff, inland stuff here hasn't been colonized, so at least I assume so. I don't know if I want to do a colonial game next. Could be interesting, because obviously I haven't done much. I have not been engaging with the trading system that much ever since the beginning, or really at all since the beginning. I've mostly just, I mean, yeah, I probably could have done a better job building up some of these trade centers to try and make sure that my trade range was better, as well as maybe securing certain outposts. Like, you know, if I could have taken Crete, for example, I could have had a much better trade range. But I haven't been paying much attention to it. But yeah, it would be cool to try and test out like how much money you can make from trying to facilitate like an east-west trade. Trying to get like tea and I think it's called exotics from the east over to the west. And I think Africa too has exotics like ivory and stuff like that. There are a bunch of different resources you can have in this mod, but a lot of them are grouped together under generic terms to not overcomplicate things. Ah, and I also totally forgot about Scandinavia. I should have gone over there to finish him off. Although at this point I don't even know if my... Yeah, Norway still has cores on it, so we could have done that. But once again, I have officially reached that point where laziness is the primary thing stopping me from expanding. Because now that I've figured out how to like de-shit my nation to a certain extent and actually get a force limit, we could be able to fight the Ottomans more. But I mean, it's still interesting though. You can see the Ottomans being... Well, actually, in terms of development, how are we doing? Oh yeah, you can see that, you know, we are huge on the map, but in terms of wealth, we are not that impressive. We are comparable to Spain in terms of development. I mean, that's what's cool about 3.0 compared to 2.5 and 6 in MEIOU taxes, is the fact that development much more accurately reflects. You know, before, when these numbers here accurately reflected the population, the whole, you know, comparing different nations was kind of fucked. But now that development is based on like not only how many people live in a place, but how, I guess, effective and wealthy and whatnot they are. I don't know the exact calculations. So, I mean, yeah, you can see the pretty fucking sad reality that the fucking Hungarians, this little nation here, well, little, but still, this nation is regarded as more powerful than, or has more development than all of us combined. I think maybe it also counts like half of the vassals. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah. So for example, you can see how France in terms of development is not even that far behind China at this point. Which is historical. France was like an absolute beast at this point in history. And I suppose one of the flaws of MEIOU taxes is the fact that France generally can just go ham because the start date makes it so that, you know, it makes it hard for Austria or Bohemia or anyone like that to form a sort of anti-French power bloc, with the Holy Roman Empire genuinely or generally remaining divided, with a lot of the stronger nations ending up actually allying France. I mean, you can see Austria being friends with France here, for example. I think no. Yeah, the emperorship has actually become a bit more contested between Bohemia and Austria. But I haven't been paying much attention to the empire, or much at all things. I mean, culture... I suppose this is a thing that starts there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the culture map mode here enough to tell if anything interesting has changed. I can't really see anything. Unistic. No, not really. Interesting that we got Hindu Bengal though. I don't know how that happened, but cool. So, oh, okay, a lot of this Philippine stuff is actually Majapahit, not England. I do not know if that's how that came to be, but I suppose it doesn't matter. But yeah, there's your world. There is definitely something I forgot to show here. I am confident. I happen to know what? Didn't I accept that? Maybe I forgot. Or did I unaccept it to get Russian? I probably did. I fucking don't remember. Once again, I have been mostly focusing on internal reforms and trying to wrap my head around the system more. And now that while I definitely don't understand it, I do have a better idea of how things work now, and so it's going to be interesting to play a different nation from scratch. I want to have a look throughout the world as well, and like look at different nations and what kind of starting reforms they have. Because from what I understand, there are some significant differences here and there. I mean, I didn't really do any burger reforms because I was lazy, but I think like a lot of these have... a lot of these reforms are a lot worse in places like Asia, for example. Although I haven't actually double-checked that, so I should probably, you know, not just talk out of my ass here, but there you go. Like I know, for example, Friesland, being all free and whatnot, have a weaker nobility at start, so if you can form the Netherlands as them, you can like have a, well, less noble influence. You know, you don't have to go through the pain of trying to kick your nobles down in the same way that you would if you started as a more noble influence place. Interesting that England never managed to take Scotland because of the old alliance. Scotland even got a PU over Wales, which somehow ended up independent, which has now been integrated, so... Celtic Union, question mark? Leinster almost unifying Ireland as well. Yeah, also allied with France in the grand fuck England alliance. Glorious. Oh yeah, culturally, this sounds like, I don't know what the thing about Hiberno-Norman is, but creating Hiberno-Norman Ireland definitely is on the to-do list at some point. It really saddens me that Highland Scottish is no longer a separate culture from Lowlands. It would have been fun to try and spread Highland Scottish throughout the world, but they took that away from me. I suppose I like the idea of taking weird cultures and spreading them, well, not weird cultures, but like, I don't know, unusual cultures and spreading them. Somehow managing to keep Cuman culture that starts in the Hungarian basin, for example, would be cool to somehow culture convert to and spread, but it is what it is. And what it also is over. So yeah, I guess we're gonna end it here. Leave comments about whatever you want, suggestions and complaints and stuff. I mean, at this point, I haven't even started uploading again since my big break on YouTube. So I really need to just start. I've been putting it off because I wanted a series on Victoria 2 to upload as well, but I haven't felt like playing Victoria 2 single player, so I haven't done it. Maybe I should just accept that it's not gonna happen. I don't know, or that I need something else. Who knows? Thanks so much for watching this episode of our Teutonic Order campaign, and for watching the Teutonic Order campaign in general. And yeah, until next time, bye.